Hello, everybody. Sorry about the little hiccup there at the beginning, a little technical difficulty with the stream. All's good now. Welcome back to another episode of Casey Builds Live. Today, we are building an X-Wing. A set which they have had so many of over the years. I started counting. It was one of the first sets that I had gotten, and they've had a couple versions of the X-Wing that have been larger, which they call the Ultimate Collector Series. I see one. I really thought there were two. But then we also have, I can see from here, we have X-Wing, Resistance X-Wing, Pose X-Wing, X-Wing, Pose X-Wing, and those are all the roughly 700 piece sets. And then there's a smattering of smaller sets, micro, but just the normal size sets like this one, just a normal. I think this is like a $60 set. This is pretty much your standard set. They've reissued this since I've started collecting them at least 5 times. And it kind of bugs me because each time it's not the exact same, but it is so close. And the biggest difference is when they do Pose X-Wing, because his has like orange highlights. So it's largely the same, except instead of having gray bricks, there's like black ones, and instead of red, there's orange. But they just keep coming out with it, and it's anyway. Today we're doing this one. This is not the most recent one they came out with, because the most recent one they came out with was another Poe X-Wing, but I like Luke's better. I think it looks nicer. I don't like Poe's orange X-Wing. I like the original. I don't like the new spin on it, so we're sticking with the original. I could build a small squadron of X-Wings, absolutely. Thank you. So anyway, Luke's X-Wing is what we're working on today. And we'll flip over to the old build cam right there. And yes, we could just absolutely annihilate some Womp Rats back at Beggar's Canyon like we used to do. Six bags today, 730 pieces, so their small bags are about 125 pieces a bag. We're going to fly through this today. It'll be quick. And I know half the time when I say it'll be quick, it ends up taking us longer than I think it will. This time I mean it. It'll be quick. Plus with this set we get to build ourselves a little Luke. And an R2 unit. And then there's also somebody else in this one. Biggs Darklighter. Biggs. And he has R2Q2. But obviously R2D2 is everybody's favorite droid. At least he used to be. I wonder if he still qualifies.
I would still say but BB-8 is probably a close second.
Yeah, we got BB-8 there now. We have
K2SO.
K2SO, thank you. That was what I was trying to think of. The one from that was in the Rogue One movie. That was the one where they have to steal the plans for the Death Star. So anyway, we got a standard issue Luke here. R2, same thing. Pretty standard. I put my keyboard on the wrong side of myself over here. Fixed it. Okay. Fly through the build, yes. It's always such a conundrum for me I have such a hard time when I think about if I could fly one ship from Star Wars, which would it be? And on the one hand, the Millennium Falcon, it just has to win. It just has to. But I always pause and wonder if I'd really prefer the X-wing. And because they're different sorts of beasts. It would be a tough decision. I think the Millennium Falcon would still win, but I think it'd be a lot of fun to pilot an X-wing around.
Though if you're judging by the Rogue Squadron game, it is very difficult to pilot an X-wing.
That's true. Yeah, there was a game that came out recently where, well, there have been many games like this, but there was a new one, a new iteration that came out recently where you're actually piloting an X-wing around, and it's pretty tough. Right now, I think we're building the front of the fuselage right now. Just this will be the nose. I believe. Actually, I kind of feel like... Oh, hello there, Taco Cub. Welcome to today's stream.
If you like.
Yeah, I was thinking about the difference between flying an X-Wing and flying the Millennium Falcon, and I feel like the difference between the two is a lot like the difference between driving the GTR of the Millennium Falcon, which is just a sledgehammer, versus having like a nice nimble little BMW, which is the X-Wing. So I think you just have to have both, which was always my solution to that problem. Hello, Aunt Judy. Don't know if your son ever watches these, but it was just Jeremy's birthday recently. So happy birthday to Jeremy. It's my oldest cousin. Do that in the opposite order because it said to put this piece on first, but this piece that I just put on first, you can get it to be perfectly flush this way, and this one, it doesn't matter, it just stops when it stops. So do those slightly out of order and you'll have perfect placement as opposed to doing them in order and having possibly just barely not perfect placement. Oh, and now you just push it down anyway, so it doesn't matter. Well, that's silly. Oh, Aunt Judy, I don't think you're that old. Okay. There we go. I have a... This might be a yolk or something. I'm not sure. I don't know what the purpose of this is. We'll find out. I wonder if it might be attached to some lasers or... I don't know. We got kind of a moving bit right there. Seems like an awful lot of gearing to make something that ends up being purely structural, so we'll find out. So Taco Cub has recently been freshly diving into the joys of Minecraft. Taco, have you built anything exciting since we last spoke? A slightly different type of build, but still noteworthy, in my opinion. Actually, speaking of Minecraft, that's yeah, Judy. You got anybody in your house who plays much of that? Well, it is slightly popular with the younger crowd. I think I would have probably played that game tons, creating stuff when I was younger. Taco, you made an automated tree and wheat farm and some weird furnace thing. All right. Weird furnace thing. You mean you made a blast furnace? Because a blast furnace is basically the same thing as a normal furnace. It just burns faster. If you didn't know. I think the most functional difference is a blast furnace can also melt down things, like if you have gold armor or things like that. You can actually melt down ore in the normal furnaces, but if you have gear or weapons or something like that, you can actually melt it back down into its original stuff. Its original ingredients if you have a blast furnace, I think. If I remember correctly. Also, I'd say for the size of this set, by the way, 730 pieces. I think I mentioned that already. I think it has a surprisingly high number of bags. There's 6 bags. So we are already done with bag 1. And that just means that we're going to be flying through these even faster than usual. Yeah, instead of the 15 minutes, or I'm sorry, instead of the half an hour a bag that we frequently have, this one's going to be more like 15 minutes a bag. So we should be done in about an hour and a half today. Water wheel powered fan that blows past a patch of lava for smelting. Wow. Alright. Well, Taco, you're literally doing stuff that I've never even seen before, so I look forward to exploring that. Ah, yeah, Taryn. Yeah, I like. To me, Minecraft is just another format. I mean, it's when it first came out, it kind of, sort of bugged me. Its existence sort of bugged me because I felt like it was basically just Legos on a computer. and that offended me. And I thought, well, if you wanna build with just build with Legos. Why do you need to do it on the computer like that? And it took me a while, but I eventually gave it a shot. And when I did, I started to appreciate the differences between the two. And they both inspire creativity. They're both based on building things, but they are different enough that I think that Minecraft deserves it deserves credit for what it is. Now, they also have come full circle, and they make Minecraft-based Lego sets.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And that's where I draw the line. They've gone too far. At that point, you have to choose. You're doing Lego or you're doing Minecraft. You can't be greedy and do both. That's a no. That's a no from me. It's gonna be a no from me, dog. My Randy Jackson right there. Actually, I wonder, having not watched anything like American Idol in a very long time, I actually don't know how long it's been since Randy Jackson has even been around.
A long time.
I don't know if he still exists.
Not on that show.
That's true. Minecraft is way more affordable. That, absolutely. It's affordable and infinite. So, yeah, okay.
And you were only limited by your own creativity.
Put that in the pro column. True, yes. Okay. I thought that was going to be the front of the fuselage, but it does not appear to be so, because we got a whole lot more going out this way. And this looks like it might be related to R2 in the back, maybe. Ah, Cordy, hello, sir.
Bags 4 and 5 are exactly the same.
Bags 4 and 5 are probably for the S foils on the rear end, so you probably do perfect mirrors of each other. Started building the modular police station. When will Casey build a modular building live? Oh. Well, I only have 2. And Lex gets to build hers. Hers is the bookshop. 2,500 pieces on the bookshop. I assume most of the modular buildings are all the same size. I've got the modular garage. Actually, well, that one was a very old set, and they haven't come out with. Lex is surprised that I don't have a modular building of a firehouse. If they ever come out with one again, I will absolutely get it. But I missed the boat on the first pass.
You can build the bookstore.
No, I got my modular garage. The bookstore's yours. Hello, Chris Bailey. Yeah. Casey Berg. You guys are really going to need to put some work into it if you want to see Lex on camera. I have been denied.
I did those time-lapse videos for you. It's not my fault you didn't post them.
That's true. I'll have some time-lapse videos posted soon of her building some sets. So that's the best I'm going to be able to offer in the short term. But what was the What was the name? Oh, Apocalypseburg. Apocalypseburg was the name of the defunct Statue of Liberty in the Lego movie.
The second one.
Yeah, the second Lego movie. That around here too. That could be part of CaseyBuilds. Okay.
That's a pretty big set, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bigger one. Thousands of pieces. Okay. All right. We're just continuing to build out the front of our X-Wing here. So I'm not sure. There have been a couple of Lego announcements recently for some sets that are coming out soon, and a couple of them that I'm pretty excited about. There's a blacksmith shop that is it's going to be a new idea set, and it's in the vein of the old Knights and Castles. Yeah, it's a medieval set. So I'm hoping that it's going to be a cool retro set in the very same way that the Pirates of Booty Bay was. Which we did that as that was a stream build. Oh, that's right, rum. It was a rum build. Yeah, so I'm hoping it'll be similar to that one, because that one was such a good set. And I'm looking forward to that. However, I'm also really looking forward to another car set that's coming out. There's a 911 set, and it's not going to be a Technic set. It's going to be a creator set. So it's going to be more model than mechanical. Thank you. But you get to choose whether it is a 911 Turbo or a 911 Targa. And they have different instructions inside to choose which one.
What is the difference?
Oh, I did say Booty Bay. Sorry, Barracuda Bay. Booty Bay is a location in World of Warcraft. And it's basically the same pirate theme as Barracuda Bay. But yeah, the Porsche said. What did you ask me?
What's the difference between 911 and Targa?
Oh, the difference. So it's the Turbo and the Targa. The Targa is a open top kind of a thing, and not exactly a convertible. And the Turbo is just it's a more standard coupe. So it's going to kind of be, I think, similar to the Mustang set that came out, where it was a model set, not a mechanical set, and you could kind of customize the Mustang to be the way you wanted it to be. I don't think this one's going to be as customizable. I think you're only really going to have two options. But I think it's going to be that sort of a set. So if you've built the Mustang or seen the Mustang, kind of have the idea of what to expect. And I absolutely love Porsches, so looking forward to that. Let's see. Stickers. Sticker number 1 goes like this onto this one. I'm going to use this to hold on to it. Sticker number 1. Okay, which way is that oriented? That is oriented that away. And sticker number 2. What percentage more would you be willing to pay per set to not have stickers ever again? Oh, jeez. I would... They could raise the price by 10%. How about that? I feel like that'd be fair. Honestly, I mean, if they had 2 versions of the set and one of them would have stickers and one of them was already printed on there and they were side by side, I wouldn't even look at the price difference. I would just get the one that had the things printed on there. So realistically, I guess I should say it doesn't matter how much extra. Yeah, I'd go 20. I would pay whatever they ask. But on the other hand, I feel like that's really one of the things that I talk about almost every single build. And what else would I have to talk about if I wasn't complaining about stickers? Sure, there's probably a few of you out there who think that. All right. Well, you're kind of selling me on doing a modular building with that alone, Cordy. So maybe we'll do the modular corner garage soon. All right, that's in a bag too.
Cordy's drinking a swirl right now while he watches.
What's happening?
Cordy's drinking a swirl right now while he watches. Like a DoorDash.
All right. Bag number 3. Flying along. Unintentional pun. Original pun. This time intended. So as you can see, right now we have it's more of a dart than a ship. Speaking of space... Oh wait, what am I missing here? Supremacy of Star Trek over Star... Wait a minute. I don't know if we can go that far, Chris.
You can't really judge because Star Trek only uses stupid ass mega blocks.
Yeah. I do hope that there comes a day where Lego finally gets to make use of Star Trek IP. That would be some amazing licensing going on there. But what was I originally saying? Oh, speaking of space. I actually had someplace I was going to go with that. So we watched the new show on the sci-fi series last night, Resident Alien. I don't know if anybody else out there really loves Alan Tudyk's work as much as we do, but it was a really cute show. You guys. Oh, this is interesting. Normally, okay, so oh wow, you guys, there's gonna be a fight in my chat here. So these little guys, normally when you have a bunch of them, they are all lined up in a row, thusly, so that like a bar can go across them or something. And I was just about to place them all along the back of this thing, but right now it appears that they are being used for greebling. Is that the word? I haven't talked about greebling in a long time. And so they actually intentionally go in different directions across the back of this thing in what appears to be a somewhat random order. So there's no uniformity there. Luckily, we live in a universe where you can enjoy both Star Wars and Star Trek and not have to choose between them. Can't we all just get along? Aha, okay, so we're using all of these various things on the back of this to give it a lot of flavor. Incidentally, all using different types of guns, but I'll show you how this is working itself out here. So all the little grabber hands now are holding the little Lego guns. You can see now that it actually is given a lot of complexity, a lot of texture, a lot of detail to the back of it right there. So it all worked out. That's an excellent joke, Chris. Chris is, of course, referring to Greedo in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Like I need to tell anybody that. I do think, actually I can see it from here, my first X-Wing of this size was 560 pieces. So this is almost 200 extra pieces. So it seems like what they did here was they took, obviously, the same old basic X-Wing shape, but I think they just added a lot more detail. So 200 pieces of detail. I mean, that's an extra 33% of how many pieces the original one had. So I guess they made it better. Han did shoot first. I don't believe that's a question that any true fan would ever ask. Yeah, we're looking forward to watching more Resident Alien. It's pretty cute. Okay. No, I cannot remember anything. I actually, I can remember Moaning Myrtle. It's the alliteration that helps you remember. It's one of those mnemonic devices.
Your disappointment.
Prefects are the older kids, right?
Yeah.
All right. See? Like a pro.
They're kind of like the RAs.
Oh, like an RA. Yeah, okay. That makes total sense. Okay, how does this get on here? Did that actually attach? Oh, it does. This was supposed to be here. Now that'll all line up. Okay, we got one side locked into place there. Okay. And more. All of these little studs for reasons I do not yet understand. I'm sure it just has to do with more fine detail work. Okay. And because this was a because the X-Wing definitely saw some action, it is no longer perfectly colored or symmetrical or anything like that. The paint is not uniform, so we have differences between the two sides. You can definitely see that it's got some dirt under its fingernails. Not a perfect mirror. We have it's white back here, it's gray back here. Different patches of color on either side. This thing's been used. This is not a showroom X-Wing. Okay, we just put a little plunger in here that I think will be intended to push this up, but I'm not quite sure what all of that's actually doing yet, so we get to keep waiting. Let's find out more. Okay. Okay, I think we need to build some more. Yeah, there's building the foot now. The landing gear. Oops. Okay, it's all very clicky. Kind of locks into place. Alright, so this guy right here, this is the front landing gear, and it's Not terribly exciting. Seems kind of wobbly. I'm sure it'll be good enough, but it's the sort of thing that if it were a bigger set, I would definitely hope that they would spend a little bit more time on doing something a little more robust than that. And they probably would. Finish this area off. Again, not really sure what it's actually what the function of this area is going to be yet, but we're going to keep building toward that. And once again, I'm going to build this. I'm going to do number 2 before I do number 1 in the little call out up there, just because that means I can get these pieces perfectly flush against my table, and these pieces snap in anyway, so that doesn't matter for that side. So, oh, and we're probably going to be just pushing the rods through anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. But oh, whoa, that was the end of bag 3. There wasn't a whole lot of warning there. Thank you. Sorry, one moment, please. Any experienced builder will let you know that staying hydrated is one of the most important parts of building Lego. Obviously. That's what separates the rookies from the champions. Alright, now we're building Biggs. And his R2 unit. He has an R2 Q2 unit, which you can see is darker in color. And you got Biggs right there. So all right, now we're building as predicted. We're gonna set the fuselage to the side now and start building some S-foils. I'm a little surprised it doesn't have 2-acts, because I could see it doing the top left and the bottom right, and then doing the top right and the bottom left, because theoretically those should all be the same, unless maybe, oh, you know what, they might have different coloring to have the appearance. Laundry, yes. They probably aren't perfectly symmetrical, just because they're going to want to have some coloring differences. To really drive home the fact that this thing was used. Didn't get to just sit there and look pretty. full tray in view here. How many times do I have to tell you guys? You gotta let me know if I mess that up. Gotta make sure that you have an opportunity to appreciate Lex's hard work here. It'd be pretty fun to kind of do your own custom X-Wing set sometime and make it so that it's like an immaculate, just off the showroom floor model. Let's see what that would look like. I think it would look pretty weird. And as usual, we have one of these guys right here, which is responsible for being a Lego shooter. We're going to be able to put some kind of laser bolt in there, and it'll blast it out. And because of that, they have the silly little icon on the last page urging you to avoid shooting your eyeball out with it. Very Ralphie Christmas story. Alright, S-foil done. That goes there, and then, yep, that goes through. To hold it into place if I can get it in the right spot. There we go. Got it. Okay. One, two. Ooh. 3, 4. Okay, and this guy right here is absolutely going to be responsible for deploying the S-foils and then locking them into attack position, or pulling them back together for what is effectively long-range flight.
Hyperdrive?
Yeah, hyperdrive, yeah. Alright, another S-foil. One of the things that was really interesting in the game I was mentioning, the other, where you're flying the X-Wing, you don't just fly X-Wings. You also fly TIE fighters. And in the movies, you always see TIE fighters as these really like little, almost annoying insects that are flying around and zipping all over the place. And the X-Wings are capable, but they aren't as go-karty as the TIE fighters are. But one thing that this game sort of drives home is that regardless of which vehicle it is, that they have different modes that you can be in a more agile mode, or you can be in a mode where you're focused on speed, things like that. Oh, there was a sticker here, but it was to go onto a piece that was already down. So I was confused because I was looking at the tray trying to find the piece, but it was already on right here. So regardless of whether you were in the X-Wing or in the TIE Fighter, depending on the situation, you could switch over. And on the X-Wing, it's much more clear. When you are in attack dogfight mode, and the wings split out into an X, at that point you kind of slow down, and you can pivot around a lot faster. The TIE Fighters too, you could kind of do the same sort of thing, and there wasn't as much of a visual cue of the change. But it was interesting seeing how whichever vehicle you were in, you could change the mode that you're in to excel at one thing and take energy out of being able to go fast, but give you more control about fine motor control, things like that. It was interesting being able to switch that around and adapt for whatever sort of a situation you were in. I thought that was neat. I think having the thought of a vehicle that can adapt on the fly to those sorts of things, it's sort of a neat idea. I think the closest thing that we have to that right now would have been, I don't know if this is the case with modern cars, but certainly cars like 20 years ago, some of the more economy ones with smaller engines, you'd be cruising along comfortably in your climate controlled cabin, and then you see a hill coming up and you think, well, the only way I'm going to make it up that hill is if I turn off the AC. So you switch from life support over into performance mode. Obviously it's a little different, but kind of the same basic idea. I certainly had a car way back when that I would turn off my AC when I hit a hill, try to maximize my ability to climb the thing. Okay. One thing I've never thought to question is why they are called S-foils. I have a feeling if my brother weren't driving right now and he could actually answer things, I would have a feeling he would actually know why, or what the S stands for, or if it stood for anything. Seems like it would. Okay, got one more here, and it's going to go right on top. Push this one through as well, like last time. get some rubber bands out of here. Garbage. You know what? X foils would make sense, but I don't think it is X foils. I'm pretty sure it is S foils. Whoa. Ah. Nuts. Oh, I shot a rubber band off somewhere. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. Oh, I found it. Oh, boy. Let's not do... I'm going to put the rubber band on the opposite direction. Just in case it... Yeah, okay. Here we go. Oh, James, I thought we had this discussion. I was given a thumbs up. Thumbs up on the X-Wing today. Also, done with bag 4. On to bag 5. We're an hour in. And probably 2/3 of the way done. So we'll probably be done here today at 3:30. Cordy, I bet you the AT-AT that EK gave you was probably this one right here. If I had to guess. Probably this one. Yeah. And that was my first Star Wars set that I bought myself. Okay, time for what I'm guessing are S-foils for the other side. Actually, I say guessing, and I suppose technically it's a guess, but I think there's about a 0.01% chance that I'm wrong. Yeah, Cordy, I feel like I'm gonna have to Google this when the build's over, but I would be willing. Oh, I would bet money on the fact that it is in fact S foils and not X foils. I just can't tell you what it means. Strike.
Also known as strike foils.
There you go.
Removable wings attached to an X-Wing Starfighter.
The more you know. And knowing is half the battle. There it is. Oops. This sort of yours. Yes, indeed. Lex does an amazing job of getting these things all lined up perfectly. Bo James, do you have a... I can't remember. Do you have a Star Wars set yet? Oh, you have the throne room. You have the throne room. Do you have any other Star Wars sets? Do you have any ships? I don't think you do. Your AT-AT did not come with a C-3PO. Oh. Okay. There was another one that came out just before this one did, I think. I'm sorry, just before the one that I held up did. And I think that one was actually motorized. I think... And it could move on its own. This one is not. It's just posable. So if yours is motorized, perhaps it's the one that was just prior to this one. For some reason, they went back. I feel like they took a step backwards and removed the motorized one and gave you one that was not motorized. I don't know if it was because the motorized one maybe fell over too much, or I don't know. It's kind of bummed that I missed that one though. The Batmobile is a very fun set. I know you did the Batwing as well, so you'll enjoy it, I think. It isn't too technicky, which I know is a major issue for you. Okay. There we go. Oh. First, I'm gonna have to go look through old AT-AT set archives now. See if I can figure out which one it is. Alright, time for the last test foil. Okay. These are all pretty, Mags 4 and 5 are a little on the boring side because you're just building 4 wings that are all pretty much identical minus the mirror flip-flop, so just blasting through. No worries, Cordy. Enjoy yourself. these. Keep doing the same thing over and over again. Three. Wow. So that predates mine by a few years. Not that this would ever happen, but sometimes I think about how fun it would be if I ever got, you know, like really serious about Lego. Yeah. What are you laughing at over there? And actually tried to legitimately go through and, you know, complete my collection, things that are missing from like previous years and things like that. Just a fun little thought. It definitely would need to be some major changes that would enable that in a number of different ways. Bo James, when can we get a freestyle CaseyBuilds to see some master building skills? That's a lovely thought. I think you would be sorely disappointed. I haven't really done any free building since I was, well, closer to your son's age, Bo James. Alright, more rubber bands, and then once these are on to the final bag. Okay, and as I learned last time, rubber band from the bottom up, so if it shoots, it'll shoot into the table. And then I don't have to luck out like I did last time and have to try to find it. There we go. On to bag 6. Thank you. Oh, this is going to be a quick one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to be done. We're going to be done real fast here. I feel like for me to be able to go and do some freestyle building, I would need to have some sort of I would need to have a goal or motivation. I don't think I could just, I don't know. That would be, I'd have a hard time with that. Not really having a destination in mind. You know, I love driving my car, but I also don't usually just get into it and drive. I need to have someplace I'm trying to get to. Two of these, and these pieces do have a back and a front, so I need to make sure they are used on the correct spots. This one is on the top right, and this one's on the bottom left. Looking at it from the front. Maybe I could do it with some audience participation. Maybe it would be a, hey, shout out what I should do next kind of a thing, and then that could give me direction with where I'm supposed to go. Maybe that could be interesting. Okay. Oh, more stickers on the tops of these barrels here. Okay, so sticker on top of this one is sticker 6. That's this one. Which way do the stickers face? Like that. Okay. It needs to be centered. Looks about right. Okay. And sticker number 5. There. And this one needs to be oriented that way. Okay. Centered. Not quite even. Let's try that again. Take 2. There we go. Alright, and now we use these little guys. Little minor picks, but we can put them on top here to put a little more texture in here. Just more detail. There, now you can see. Yeah, some pretty neat looking, pretty good looking rockets. Okay, finishing work on the front here. Okay, now for some finishing work on the back. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Still no stickers yet. There's 4 stickers left, and I know I'm going to have to be putting them down pretty soon. There's not a whole lot left here. Okay, now we're making some thrusters on the back. 4 of them. Okay, 1. I think the Ecto 1 from last weekend still had some of the coolest headlights, taillights, exhaust, all that kind of stuff. Those fixtures were really well done. I liked how they handled that stuff. Oops. There's 1. There's 2. Well, not 2 yet. 1.5 this time. Two. Three. And on to the 4th. Okay. 4 thrusters. How do these attach? Just like that. Really isn't the most well attached thing. See, I'm used to doing the Technic sets where there's lots of structural redundancy, and anyway, it's fine. Okay, final stickers here. I'm out of things to hold my stickers with. Bats. Okay, right. Use that piece as a grabber piece. So when you're putting the stickers on, it's really helpful to not be holding the piece itself that you're putting the sticker to. I know I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. It's a useful technique. When you're trying to put a sticker on something, attach that piece to something else. This way you're not actually holding onto the piece itself when your thumb's in the way. So when you put the sticker down, you can actually have the whole surface of where you need to go with it. See, so that's my grip corner, and then I can position the sticker perfectly. And while I'm doing it, I'm just gonna, I need to put all these stickers on. Okay, so 7 goes over here. 3 goes over here. Oops, forgot to get the piece out. Ha, Bo James, I don't, between a TIE Fighter and an X-Wing, I'm not sure if you were here earlier when I was talking about having to decide between wanting to fly an X-Wing and the Millennium Falcon. However, I'm going to save doing that until I finish putting these stickers on. What have I done wrong? 7, 3, 8, 4. What? Is there a difference? They have minimally different stickers that you could change out these pieces for, and I don't know why you would. Oh, I bet they're the ship markings. Best peaceful. Oh, nice. Oh, so these markings here across right here. Sorry, right here. I think that's the designator for which ship it is. I don't know that for sure, but I have a feeling like right here there's 5 red hashes, whereas over here there's 3 red hashes or 2 red hashes. I think that maybe that's the ship identifier, and because we have a Luke and Biggs, you can swap it out for whichever X-Wing would be appropriate for whoever's flying it, maybe. I don't know for certain, but that's going to be my best guess of what I'm going with right now. As for doing... When you page back, we'll have to drink. Yeah. That's... Going backwards is admitting defeat. It is a failure. Anyway, to answer your question, I don't know if we were on earlier yet when I was talking about flying an X-Wing versus the Falcon and how that is a tougher... That is a very tough choice for me. If I was given the keys to one or the other, and I think ultimately I'd go with the Millennium Falcon. However, between a TIE Fighter and X-Wing, while I think a TIE Fighter would be a lot of fun to fly, that is a less difficult choice for me, and I would probably go with the X-Wing over the TIE Fighter. Like in the super awesome future where that's actually a choice somebody needs to make, that's the choice that I would make. I would go with the X-Wing. Not quite straight. There we go. Got that done. Alright, let's put this back together. Piece that I pulled off there. Okay. Now that's garbage. And we can load up our ordnance into all of our cannons. Ooh, and shoot ourselves in the process. Oh, don't shoot your eye out. Those are some powerful little springs. Shoot. Okay. Okay, I'm going to assume that the full number of stripes is appropriate for Luke. I assume. So we're going to drop Luke right in here with his blaster pistol. We'll put R2 right behind him. There we go. And where did those go? Oh, more little blasters. This thing has laser blasters all over the place. Okay, but it's also weird how they've been having you put them in piecemeal like this. Usually they do that all at once, one go. Okay, so right now, as you know, I'm going to retract the landing gear. Okay, let's flip back over to the front-facing cam. So here we have it. We have our X-wing flying along, and then we're ready to flip over to attack mode. So we push right there. Lock our S-foils. And now we are in a more agile attack mode. That's pretty cool. And there's a button on the bottom that puts it back. That's a pretty elegant mechanism. That's actually better than the first one too. I remember the first one actually has a little crank on the back, and it felt kind of cheap and flimsy. This one actually feels a lot more, I don't know, better put together. So it's pretty good. I like it. I was talking about earlier about how it's a jip that they have so many of these X-wings that are all effectively the same. But I would say, from what I remember of the first one, this one actually is better. So I'm glad that they fixed that. Oh, G-Fat Jake, you're here right as we're finishing up. So thank you all so much for joining, as always. It was a good weekend. Next weekend, maybe we'll do a modular building. Maybe. I'll think on it. Might be a good weekend for that. We'll see. Thank you all for being here, and see you next Saturday at 2 p.m. as always. Bye, everybody.